Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my garden. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If you are new here, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee in Zone 7B, and today we're in the back of my house where my garden first started. And y'all, we're doing what they call back in the old days, we piddling paddling. That's what we doing. We just trying to dodge the rain because yes, it has been raining all day, but now it's not. And so it's kind of like, you know, what's that game you play when you would when they would have the rope and you would duck in and duck out? What's the name of that, honey? Come on. What's the name of that game? They doing the jump rope? Double Dutch. No, is that it? When you have to get in there? Yeah, okay, when you have to get in there and get on the right foot and land well, that's what we're doing. It's like playing Double Dutch with the rain. It's like it's raining and then it comes down and then it's good. You come back outside and it's like, no, we're about to rain again. That's what we're doing today. So we're just trying to do little things that we can while it is not raining. It has been the story of the summer. But if you have been here before, you know, you've already heard me talk about it. And thank you so much for coming back. Lexi, get out of my bed. Lexi is one of our dogs. And y'all know Lexi is a puppy and she is all puppy. All puppy. Okay, so we're in the back of the house. And so my husband's back here finishing up the drip. We showed that on a video probably a couple of months ago about installing drip irrigation in our raised beds. If you didn't see that video, I'll try to tag it up here. He got everything set up on that video, but one of the things that he's doing now is what, tying it to the water? Yeah, tying it to the water line. So I know y'all think that, you know, we be doing so much on these videos, and y'all, we do, but there's sometimes that we don't finish at the time of the video because of weather and all that good stuff. So we're back out here trying to, and he's been out here a few times trying to get this done. So hopefully today is the day. But while he's out here, I'm pilly paddling. I'm looking at the stuff in my garden, but I'm going to go ahead and harvest my celery. Even though my celery looks great, because I'm a celery newbie and I haven't done this a lot, everything that I read just says that it'll turn bitter in the summer with the high heat. And we have had high heat, even though it looks good and it's not going to seed. So y'all tell me, especially if you're in my zone, am I doing it wrong? So tell me that so I know the next time, because today I'm going to go ahead and harvest it. That's what we're about to do. So let's go over here and harvest our celery. It looks good, but I don't want to lose it completely just because it keeps looking good. And it may already, I hope it's not already bitter, but I'm going to use this mainly for broth. And y'all, she big too. Oh my goodness. Let me try the other one. That one is stout. Here's a smaller one. I'm about to get my husband to pull the other one out. This is a smaller one. That other one is real big and stout. Oh, it smells just like celery. It hadn't lost its smell. But look at that. She's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to use this mainly for broth. I don't use a lot of celery. Like, I'm not the girl that's going to be eating celery, crunching it up and putting it in like in peanut butter and ranch dressing and all that. Like, I can stomach it, but it's going to have to be covered in some dressing or some peanut butter. I can, but it's not the thing that I love. I'm just doing it because, you know, I'm trying to be healthy, that kind of thing. So I'm not a big celery fan, but I use it when it comes to like potato salad or chicken salad or things like that. But mainly I'm going to freeze this and use it for my broth that I make. It's like a vegetable, it's a chicken broth, but no chicken. It's a vegan version chicken broth. And I have a video on that too, if you didn't see that. But that's what I'm mainly using for. But y'all, what else are you using celery for? Also, you can juice it. I've never juiced it because I'm like, if the liquid tastes like the plant, that don't sound good. Now, it is good for you. It is good for you. So I need to try it. I do need to try it, but I'm just not a big fan. But it's great in the garden, and I sold quite a bit of it this spring. So y'all tell me what else you're doing with your celery. I know that you can make celery salt, but I never use celery salt. What else are y'all doing with your celery? Let me know. I did freeze dry some last year. And what did I use that for? I use it for something. I don't remember. But this right here is just going to go in the freezer. But she is beautiful. I got to get my husband to come out here and get the other one because it's kind of stout. What was Lexi doing? Y'all, this Lexi right here. Lexi, say hi to the people. Chewing a weed. This dog. This dog. Oh, I got another one right here, y'all. I didn't even see. Let's see if we can pull this one. Y'all, that's gonna hurt my back. So we got one right there. Max, I don't know why all of a sudden the dogs are interested in this celery, in this bed. They're never over here messing with stuff. Oh, here comes my husband to the rescue. He's gonna pull this celery. And then I know he's gonna try to act like it was no big deal, like it was light as a feather. But that's okay. That is all A-okay. A-okay. Yeah, he got that one up. Y'all see this? That's even bigger. He got roots. Yep. So, bunches and bunches of celery. And so that's going to leave me with some open space. In this bag, y'all know what I'm going to do. What have I been doing? More green beans. Look, I'm just putting these green... Ooh, I got to get a shot. Oh, baby. Hold on a second. Okay. Y'all, that's huge. Knock off as much dirt as you can. That is huge, y'all. We grew that. We grew that.
It smells like celery.
Smells like celery, babe. If she better, she don't smell like it. That is huge.
No, she not gonna be better. She good.
Y'all, that's a lot of celery. I don't need much more than that at all. I don't need much more of that. And this is just in this one little raised bed that I have back here. I have probably 7 or 8 celery in the tunnel. Y'all, that's a lot of celery. That's a lot of celery. But I don't want to keep it and it gets bitter and then I can't use it or can't sell it. So we're just going to pull what's back here as well. Also, we're going to harvest our chamomile while we're back here. And let's do that and see how many chamomile. And thank you. There was, I put something on one of the last videos about the chamomile. I was asking questions because this is my first time. And y'all, I appreciate you guys when you respond and you give me tips and help me out. Just because I have the channel doesn't mean that I know it all. I'm just sharing my journey. So I share with you what I know and what I don't know. I say I don't know, and then I ask you guys to help me out. And so it's a reciprocal relationship, and I love it. So thank you guys. There was one viewer, and I don't remember, it was a she. I don't remember her name, but you gave me like a long list of how to harvest chamomile, what to do with it, how to store it, all that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Y'all just don't know. It just makes it easy. When you can just get information at your fingertips, and you don't have to search five different things. That's why when I do a video on a how-to or trying to explain something, I try to be as thorough as possible, and I try to leave the door open for questions and make this a very safe space, because I know what it feels like to know how to want to do something and you cannot find the answer, or somebody is withholding information, or they start at step 5 and you need step 0. I know what that feels like. And so I try my best to never have you feel like that when you watch my channel. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel cared for. I want you to feel like I can ask her whatever. And if she knows she's going to willingly share the information, that's what I want you to feel like. And I hope that's what you feel like when you land on this channel. So let's go harvest our chamomile and see what else we can get into. Okay, That's all the chamomile flowers I got. That's quite a bit. That's more, the more I harvest, the more I keep getting. So I'm excited to make my own chamomile tea from my own chamomile. That's the only plant that survived. I told you I planted like, I don't know, 4 or 5. I do have one in my GREENSTALK. Oh, that has a couple of blooms on it. I'll get those as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take these and put these in a house and put them out on a plate so they can dry. Then we'll come back out. Okay, y'all, my husband got the drip to work. He just turned it on. We got a Wi-Fi. I don't know if you can see that. That's it dripping right there. This is going to make it so much easier. Finally, y'all, after 4 years, this is the first beds we started. And they're one of the last ones to get drip just because it's the smallest space now that we've grown the farm. But he got it done. Tell them about the Wi-Fi thing, the timer we bought, just in case if y'all don't know, because I didn't know.
So we bought a timer. The brand name is Luminary. Never heard of it, but it works by Wi-Fi. And so we had to go through the necessary steps to get it connected to the Wi-Fi in the house. But literally, we have an app that we can program, turn on, turn off, turn on rain delay, do all kinds of settings. And so with that, we don't even have to be home. If we decide we need to turn it off, turn it on, totally remote. Wonderful little device. Was inexpensive and easy to get. I think we did Amazon, came in a couple days.
Yep.
And it is running all the drip for all the beds back here.
Y'all know I love some technology, and y'all know I love some efficiency. So to have these Wi-Fi timers just makes it all the more better. As you know, if you saw the video that I posted last week, we got a complete network and Wi-Fi connection set up in the greenhouse. Now, if you don't have all that, you might not need all that. But if you do have water timers for your garden, if you are in the market for a water timer, make sure that you get one that is Wi-Fi enabled so that you can do the same thing. Otherwise, you have to go physically to the spot and tell it to turn off or tell it to stop the program once you program it, if for some reason you get a lot of rain and it's already set to come on. Because whenever we can get free water from the earth, that's what we want to do. Like, it's been raining here, like he's setting it up now, but as soon as he gets it set up, I'll get the app on my phone, and then I will go in and tell it to not come on in the morning because it already rained really, really good today. But we have this, we'll set this up on drip for like an hour a day. Can you do 45 minutes?
Yeah.
Let's do 45 minutes. We'll start with 45 minutes, once a day, and kind of go from there. You could do every other day, whatever your preference, however you want to do it. It's just easier for me to keep up with once a day instead of trying to do every 2 or 3 days, especially with all the rain we've been having. And this right here is only for these 5 beds. Back here, you guys know that we have drip in our other spaces. So the only space net right now on the farm that we do not have drip are the raised beds in the outside garden that I just set up this year, along the perimeter. But don't worry, another video is coming because I got an irrigation kit for those raised beds that we're going to try out from Vego Garden. So that video will be coming up in the next week or so as we set up that irrigation system down there for those beds. And then after that, it's just the pots and containers in the greenhouse. That will be the only thing that is not on drip, which is going to make it so much easier and so much more efficient. Now, I don't care what size your garden is. I always am preaching, be intentional about what you're growing and be efficient and be organized. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of space like me or if you just have a patio garden. If you can be intentional and grow the things that your family eats and making sure that your succession planting and doing all those things and then being organized, knowing what you planted where, knowing keeping inventory of what did well and what didn't go well, and being organized, and then also being efficient by adding automation and technology to whatever you're doing, it's just going to make you a much better gardener, and you'll be able to spend more time playing around in your garden and enjoying it versus feeling like you're always behind the 8 ball or feeling like the garden is the garden is hard work. You're going to always feel like it's hard work. But I want you to enjoy your garden. And it shouldn't feel like a job every single day of the week of you doing tasks that you don't want to do. You don't want to be in a space like that in your garden. So make your garden organized, intentional, and efficient. Those are the 3 things I always talk about on this channel. And then I try to demonstrate to you how I am being organized, intentional, and efficient. So we are done back here. My husband got the drip set up. It is working. I'm about to get this app on my phone. And then also in the break, of course, you didn't think it was a break because it's a continuous video. But in the break, while he was doing that, I actually went in and took care of the celery. So I cleaned it all off. I chopped off the ends, and then I have it in a 2.5 gallon freezer bag ready for the freezer. And then I will harvest the ones down there in the tunnel, and I will add to that bag, and then I'll reach out to some customers to see if they want any of this last celery. If not, then I'll just freeze it and we'll just have it. I will also freeze dry some. I don't remember what I did with the freeze dried celery last year, but I know that I did use it. I just can't recall how I used it. So I think I'm going to freeze dry some that I will have on hand until I can grow celery again. So that way we'll have it in the freezer for broth and for juice. And then I'll have some in the freeze dried state as well. That of course will last me, 20 plus years if I needed it to. The other thing is, while I was cleaning the celery, I was thinking about, me telling you guys that the health benefits of celery is good, but I really don't like the taste. You know what? I thought to myself, girl, get past that. You got to be healthy, right? I am trying to be and try to make healthier choices, whether it's through what I eat, the products that I use in my kitchen, like all the things. I've been trying to slowly but surely replace things that I know are not good for me or for the house and replace it with something cleaner, more sustainable, whether it's products, whether it's the type of cookware I'm using, but also the kinds of foods that we're eating. So I told myself that I was going to try some celery juice this week. So I'm saying it out loud because if I say it, that means I'm going to do it. And I have some pineapple that's cut up fresh. So I thought about mixing the celery and the pineapple. I'm thinking pineapple has such a great flavor. It's going to help me with the celery juice. So now for all of y'all who's saying, girl, just drink that celery juice straight. Let me start somewhere, and then we might end up where you want me to be, okay? So I am going to do the celery juice, and so we'll harvest the rest of the celery, and that will be a plus. Now, I think we're going to head to the tunnel, and we're going to harvest. We haven't been out there in 3 or 4 days. I'm almost afraid to see what it's like, but we got to bite the bullet. We got to go out there and see what we're working with. So let's go. Now we're in the tunnel. We have about probably a good 25-30 minutes before it gets dark, so we got to get to it. As soon as we walked in, lots of tomatoes that are blushing, even some big ones. So let me take you along with us as we harvest. Y'all, when I show you the harvest of just tomatoes, you're gonna be blown away like me. So my husband's doing all the big slicing tomatoes. I'm doing the cherry tomatoes. I'm not done, but I'm 75% of the way done. So let me finish doing mine, and then we'll come back and show you his basket versus my basket. We're done on the tomato row. So I got a pail and a half of cherry tomatoes. Look at that. And then my husband is coming. He has a whole basket full of the slicing tomatoes that are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, y'all. I have some Paul Robinson's. No. That's Cherokee Purple, Rebelsky, and Cherokee Carbon, and Dr. Witchy's. So great harvest for the tomatoes. So y'all, blessing on the tomatoes. So now we're looking at the peppers to see if we have any blushing. The peppers are looking good, but I want them to blush. And just so if you know, if you're new and you're wondering about the tomatoes, you can see that they're not fully ripe. I pick them when they start blushing so that I can make sure that I get my tomatoes because once they start to get really red and ripe, then it's just going to attract more insects and bugs. And so I always, once it starts blushing, then I just let it ripen the rest of the way in the house. So that way I know I have the tomatoes and they're safe. So that's why I do it that way. And then with the peppers, I see you have one orange. Is it any good? Okay, perfect. And so in the peppers, I have red, yellow, and orange. Of course, all bell peppers start off green. I don't particularly care for green bell peppers. So I like for them to turn their color of what I planted. Now, by the end of the season, before we pull the peppers out, there will be tons of peppers, and they won't have time to blush just because the days will be shorter and all that as we go into fall. And so usually the very last harvest is a whole bunch of green bell peppers, and I do use them and all that, but my preference is the red, yellow, or orange. So he's gonna start getting the jalapenos, and I'll see what else we have in the raised beds as well. All right, here's our basket of peppers. We have jalapenos at the bottom of this one, right?
Yes.
Jalapenos at the bottom, and then we got these nice red roasting peppers. Y'all, you see how big that is? This is the Ajvarsky. Love this variety. I've grown it for the last 3 years. Last year it didn't produce as well, but the year before that and this year it's producing very, very well. Or you know what? No, I think last year I did Giant Marconi. I think I did that in place of Ajvarsky. Anyway, you see how big that is? It's a nice red roasting pepper. And then we have 4 of those. And then the rest are jalapenos. Got some basil that I clipped just to kind of keep it from going to seed. I can go take this in the house and use that. So out here is looking real good. The bell peppers are not ready to be harvested yet until they start blushing, and that's all the peppers. So the only other thing to harvest out of this space are herbs, and I'm not gonna do that today. I'll do that later on in the week. Okay, y'all, the sun caught me, so I wasn't able to finish the video. So it's the next day, and so essentially I came out here when it was about the sun was about to go down, and I was able to fill up the second basket of cherry tomatoes. So last time we went in the house, we had that big basket of tomatoes that I showed you in the bin, and then we also had 2 baskets of cherry tomatoes plus all the other stuff that we harvested. So I never made it out here to finish the rest. So I'm going to try to finish the rest of the harvesting today and to see what we have. So let me grab some baskets and let's get to it. Okay, so I got pretty much a half of another basket. So that's 2.5 baskets. I have 3 paste tomatoes. This is Amish paste that look really good. And the rest of these are cherry tomatoes. I'm thinking that next year I'm going to grow less cherry tomatoes and then more beefsteak or paste tomatoes. I think I want paste tomatoes to be my number 1 in terms of volume, and then my number 2 beefsteak, and then number 3 cherry tomatoes or beefsteak. Or beefsteak or cherry tomatoes could be 2 or 3, it doesn't matter. But I definitely want more paste tomatoes because they're better for sauce making. And with the cherry tomatoes, to eat them fresh in salads, I can't keep up because I have so many. Now I do use those for sauce and all that, and they still work fine. Especially for salsa, it's still fine because you don't necessarily need a thick like consistency when it comes to salsa. It can be more chunky, but when it comes to making spaghetti sauce and all that, if you have just a ton of cherry tomatoes to make sauce, yes, it'll make sauce, but it's going to be really, really runny and hard to get it the consistency that I want. So I think that I'm growing too many cherry tomatoes. That's my initial thought as I'm going through the summer. Another couple of observations is that I have a lot of sun scald on my tomatoes. And when I say a lot, I would say 25% of them have sun scald. And that's a lot because I never have sun scald on my tomatoes. Now, traditionally, last year and I think the year before, I had sun scald on my peppers. And I do have some sun scald on my peppers. But it's odd to me because we only have had 4 days so far that have been 90 degrees. And it's been like between 90 and 92. 4 days only. The rest of the time, it has been less than 90 degrees, tons and tons of rain. So it hasn't even been that hot to me yet for sun scald, but for whatever reason, I am definitely having sun scald on the tomatoes. I'm still, like I said, picking a good healthy amount, but I would say 25% of them definitely have sun scald. I also was able to rescue 1 cucumber. But y'all, I'm gonna harvest the squash next, and then I'm gonna take you and let you see what the squash looks like just in a week, how it's deteriorated and it needs to come out. it needs to come out. But let me go harvest what I can and I'll show you what it looks like. I was able to get 4 squash that look good, and I actually picked one this morning, and I actually have already cooked that for dinner tonight. It tastes so good. I think this is the Cube of Butter, which is a new variety. It has done extremely well, and I love the flavor and the taste of it, so I will definitely do that one again. This is a crook neck. So I got 4 squash. We're swimming in squash. Zucchini, again, just has not done well this year. Then I got another cucumber as well. So let me take you around and let you see what the cucumbers and the squash are looking like. This is one of the plants that actually look good and where I pull the good squash from. So you can see I got another couple of good ones there, but I see a squash bug down there. They are just, oh my goodness, I hate these things. But you can see how that one looks right there. Let me just walk on down the row. You can see how the leaves, that has to be the squash vine borer, because I think they eat the leaves, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see plenty of squash eggs, which we've been seeing that. I treat it, but it's one of those things you have to keep treating, and get every leaf and every surface. Like, look at this one. This is absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Have just decimated the plant. And this is one, I'm hoping I can save this one. This one looks okay because I haven't gotten any of these honey nut squash yet. This one is definitely gonna have to go. So I'm gonna be pulling up the majority of this row and starting over. This one right here has not produced one thing. It's just now, I see a zucchini down at the bottom. It's been very slow. My patty pan, that was the patty pan. You can see it's done. And then you can see the cucumbers. I'm not sure what's going on with the cucumbers. Now, cucumbers don't have a long life in my opinion, but they usually last longer than this. These have been out here, I guess, since the end of April. So we're right at 2 months. Usually I thought they would last 3 months, but y'all, they're looking bad. I still have plenty of cucumbers on here that I can get, but the plant itself does not look good. Zucchini plants, I mean, y'all, it has literally withered away. Yeah, I really don't know if I'm going to do squash again this early in the season. This is bad. It's been bad before, but I don't think it's been this bad this soon. Look at this, y'all. This one is like not even growing. And my sunflowers have taken a beating too. Again, probably because of all the rain and stuff. Again, my sunflowers don't usually look this bad this early in the season either. So I'm gonna actually pull the sunflowers out and I'll probably start some new ones. So I got 3 okra to add to the basket. They're starting to come in. I've missed some. You know how okra is. It's a diva. You got to pick it same day. So it came in, I guess, over the weekend, and those are too big, but I was able to get 3. Although this one feels hard. It's not that big. Yeah, we'll see. And then I added some jalapenos. So that's a nice, pretty colorful basket. So not shabby for the harvest. I'll you know, as I compare, and again, I'm not complaining, I'm explaining. As I compare over the years, this has been probably one of the most challenging garden seasons up front. Like the stuff that I'm seeing, I usually see later. We're still getting food, but like my peppers, y'all, they are struggling out here. They are like the bell peppers, they are really struggling out here. And I think I have a rabbit that, because I got some peppers, it's just everything's gone, the leaf and everything else. I don't think hornworms get on peppers, do they? Anyway, it's been some challenges, but as I listen to other homesteaders on YouTube, some of the gardening channels that I follow, I'm hearing the exact same refrain. Water, lots of rain, and high heat has caused some issues in the garden. And again, I always say you can't control the weather. We can only control what we can control. But not too shabby, y'all. Not too shabby. I love this basket. Just the colors, the yellow amongst the green. That's so pretty. So not too shabby. We got this plus these 2 cucumbers on the table, plus 2 baskets of cherry tomatoes plus a whole basket of tomatoes. So we cannot complain whatsoever. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Y'all, remember, this is a journey. On the journey, there's going to be some bumps and bruises and all of that, but we keep growing together. I'll see you next time, friend. Bye for now.